Ah, here I am. Here we are. Yes! Another week.
It's the disrespect for me.
Disrespect.
What it means to me, come.
Be prepared.
Do you want it?
I don't want
you're
it.
asking for it. You're dying for it.
What now?
Beating so drama, I can attest. Trading the girls that are penny press. Arms for what everyone can be. Sister girl, Mr. Birthday. Peace for popping. I pussy ass teach every day my why you carry me. And that just ain't no team.
Relax.
The D, the I, the S, the R, the E, the S, the E, the E, the C, C, you see, it ain't no team.
Hey, beautiful people. Beautiful people.
Beautiful girls all over the world.
Come on for the Bruno Chris Brown collaboration.
Okay.
I just saw a reminder where Frank Ocean beat up Chris Brown. Did that really happen? Or was that in another timeline?
I don't know, because the way I have been jumping multiverses, babe, the way I have been time shifting and traveling, I don't know what universe anything happened in. I don't even know what fucking timeline I'm in right now.
It happened everywhere all at once. They beat each other up.
Side note, this is random side note. I did see the girls saying that there was I think it's called Kiki Boy. They were seeing Kiki Boy posters on the road to Coachella, and they were saying that Frank might be gearing up to drop another album. And I love Frank Ocean, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say, let's have a key. Let's have a Kiki.
Let's have a Kiki. I want to have a Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki Boy. So yeah, do what you do, Frank. But I don't know. Let us know in the comments, what multiverse are you in, and did Frank Ocean beat up Chris Brown in your timeline?
Like, yeah, y'all get back to me on that. Who beat up who in your timeline?
Who beat up who in your timeline?
Drop a comment. Glenda Ina Cocaina. Our girl has landed. International fish. Miss Onijah Robinson-Ahmed has safely returned to New York. Mother is back.
Cleared the way. Thank you. Cleared the way. Thank you. If you're not giving mother $100,000 or more, please stay out of her business. It's against her religion to tell you her business. Now clear the way, Shabana. I live for her.
I'm glad she's okay. I thought she was gone. I thought they took her on up out of here. They took her to glory, honey.
Baby, because they don't be playing in them foreign countries. They don't be playing in Dubai. I'm like, she done told that man she'll put a cigarette on his face, and then we did not see her no more. I said, listen, girl, TikTok can't get you.
What did that Brittany Griner stuff happening? That was in
Russia.
That was Russia. The Russians don't play. I don't play anybody overseas. I don't play with none of the girls
anybody over
out
there?
of the country. They already crazy enough in this country. I don't got time where I'm not even like yes, but
shout
let's
out
slide
to
over to our icebreaker. We going from New York to motherfucking. I don't know, like. This is crazy little icebreaker I got for y'all, actually.
Oh, give me tea.
What's your favorite fragrance? Mine is lavender.
We do love a little lavender. It's great for a bath. It's great for a little spray on the bed, a little lavender spray. Put you bitches right to sleep.
What about for marriages?
Oh, now purple rain, baby.
Purple rain, purple.
The color purple, baby. So lavender marriages. Let me before my opinion. For the girly pops who don't know what a lavender marriage is, I am going to do you a favor, even though you should always educate yourself and Google. A lavender marriage is one. I think it can be both. I've seen it a lot more talked about a gay male and a straight female, but I thought it could also be a gay male, gay female as well.
Oh.
I think they can be both, because the purpose of a lavender marriage, as I have been told and have seen, is for two adults who may not fit in the society's expectations of a normal role and decide to take on a traditional style marriage, to be forward facing to society, because we know how much you bitches love to tussle and be in bitches business and act like hall monitors and TikTok's best and brightest and actuallys. So to avoid and negate all of that, they are getting married. Now, I think there's a lot of lavender
I
marriages
want to
out here.
know. Let's spill the tea. Who is the alleged lavender marriage? Say that 3 times fast.
Alleged lavender marriage. Alleged lavender marriage.
All right.
Don't fight me. But the
Girl, she
girl
likes to
said
tussle.
that Natalie and her husband is in a lavender marriage. Now, Mr. Jacob Payne, this is alleged. I do not know you from anywhere.
Oh, Natalie, we know you a sugar mama, honey, but I didn't know you was. Had a little
I
fairy
don't
dust over
know.
there in your
Yeah,
lap.
I don't
Why would
know
she do
if
that, girl?
because hold on, let's okay. Here's the thing. Here I am. I get married to a gay man. It's lit. Okay. Like all like men get on our nerves, men get on their nerves. Like I've always had very close relationships for a long time with gay men growing up. And so to me, I don't know if other people feel this way, but I feel like there's this stigma about gay men, and I feel like it's all about how you choose to present and who you are on the inside. But I think there's this misconception that gay men can't be masculine, or that they wouldn't entertain what society or America dictates as like masculine roles. But anytime I'm going out with gay men, I feel protected the same way that I feel with my straight homeboys. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I'm not taking out trash. I'm not, I'm not opening doors. I'm not carrying shit that's too heavy. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's the same traditional like type of dynamics that you think. So I could imagine marrying a gay man, and it's like we wake up in bed together. We're looking at the tea on our social media sites, like we're
Oh,
keying
that
in
would be
bed.
fun.
You
That would be
know, we're
fun.
doing a whole Whitney Houston shower concert, a Mariah Carey insert your favorite diva. That's who's getting sung in in the shower concert hall. Makeup be when I can't twirl that little back piece of my hair with the curling iron, like
The
you're
girls are coming
there.
through.
Like you get what I'm saying? Like we're checking each other's outfits. I'm fixing your tie. We're going to have brunch. We're having mimosas. We're decompressing after a long day with a nice glass of wine,
And they
watching
was
one of our
on to
favorite shows.
something back
Like,
in the day. They were on to something. I don't think it's
yes.
necessary anymore in these days and times. I feel like everybody, like for the majority, I don't know, maybe we're going back in time right now, this administration, but
Hey,
I don't know.
I could
Maybe
see
y'all
it.
are on to something. maybe y'all
You
maybe y'all are more in the future than I am.
You are right, White. I think we've transitioned to where, and you're right about this administration where we're going, because I feel like when it may have been in its conception, it was more about masking and more about hiding. And I fear that we are getting into a place where that could very much be the necessity again. But I feel like as it has came out and people are talking about it now, it felt much more beautiful to me, much more not out of force, but kind of like out of this, like, when people say there's a method to the madness, like it don't make sense unless it just makes sense when you're in it. So I
Hmm.
don't see this being like people's last options. I think how people choose to partner themselves off is comes in many shapes and forms. I think even with traditional heteronormative relationships, you hear people who are married 30, 40, 50 plus years, and they're like, sex isn't everything. You need to find a person who's your best friend, somebody who enjoys, somebody who has your back, somebody who you can experience the highs and lows with. And you can get all that. We've had a lot of conversations about platonic soulmates and your friends being your soulmates. And I think this is just along the lines of that as well. Like people who enjoy each other, enjoy each other's company. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it has to be like I can't go out into the world without this picture. But you are right. We are moving into some scary territory where the girls could be back to how this started and needing it for a defense mechanism almost, as a united front against the hatred and you girls, the Tumbelina Tusslers of
The Tumbelina
Tuscaloosa.
tussle.
The Tumbelina Tusslers out of Tuscaloosa.
And say
That's
that 3
y'all.
times
Yeah.
fast. Okay.
So Mary, I want to
Girl,
marry.
I don't know. It's just a very toxic masculinity in the air right now. I think men have lost sight of what it means to be a man and like stand fully in the divine masculine versus I don't know. To me, when you have true power, it's when you're able to like do certain things and choosing not to do them. Like still choosing to do the right thing, even though you have the power to do whatever you want. And I feel
Right.
like that's kind of where the divine masculine is. But men are just abusive these days and they abuse that. Like to where it's toxic masculinity and not divine masculinity.
Yes.
But I saw this clip. Actually, you showed me this clip of Terrence Howard talking with the PBD podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I feel like he was on to something as well. And some of the girls in the community might not agree because it could come off a little like toxic masculine, but I feel like he was on like the right line of where divine masculine is more. And he just stood on what he said. Like we can roll the clip right here.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you've up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
I just really felt like he was onto something right there, though.
You know me. I love the menses.
And Terrence is right. There has to be a space for divine masculine in the way that I think more recently there has been much more talks in spaces about divine femininity and people being able to be in their divine feminine, live in their divine feminine, stay there, right? So there's yin and yang and balance to everything. And why you made a great point, because the line between divine and toxic has been blurred, even though it shouldn't. They should be miles the fuck apart. They should be like centuries apart. But because of how all of us think we Dr. Phil and we know everything, since you know everything, you're so smart and you know everything, men use the divine masculine to their detriment, and it's toxic. A man being a man is a great thing. and being confident in your sexuality and how you choose to present yourself is not a knock to anybody else. And there is a way to respectfully be in your divine masculine without it coming off as homophobic, transphobic, sexist. There are a lot of things, and I think Terrence was very clear and articulated himself very well, because I grew up in the South. You grew up in the South. We grew up in the South. So a lot of the things that I require or expect of men have been because of the stand-up men that I had growing up. But also in the same sense, these men were not hateful men. Like, you get what I'm saying? I really hate that has gotten so lost in translation, that being like a manly man or a provider or intolerant of such certain things. And let's be real, because he was talking about Diddy, and I'm gonna throw my little allegedly.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get to that part too.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my little allegedly out there, because we know you girls like to sue. But there's a difference between being who you are sexually and then being predatory about your sexuality. And I like that what Terrence was calling out, I think would have been the same no matter how the players were played. But this wasn't just about Diddy being gay, allegedly. This was about Diddy wanting power, and maybe Diddy just likes that. Maybe it's his sexual orientation. He has a problem with coming out that way. But you are also using your power to put people in uncomfortable situations. You're holding things over people, allegedly. You are knowing that you're someone of stature and someone of great power, in these industries where people, have prayed for things like this, is what they wanted their whole entire lives. And you use that in a predatory way to feed your sexual desires. And that shit is disgusting and it's filthy. And there has to be people like Terrence Howard and other people who say, my morals, my manhood, my womanhood, whatever, is not up for sale. It's not up for grabs. And I think he was definitely speaking some truth when we see these other male celebrities who are spiraling, who look like they're on drugs, who are later telling their stories. Like when we're seeing Day 26 sit down, and we're seeing 5 strong Black men who are weeping, who look broken inside. Like,
things felt very sacrificial.
Shit. Okay, explain.
I can't. When you're under a power, man, it's just I can't go into details now, but sir, like, I'll tell you, it felt like some sacrificial stuff was going on, man. Like, it felt very scary and weird, to where I ran to get help. I ran to my doctor. I spoke up with my family. I spoke up to people around me, because I was like, if this is true, and I'm caught missing or dead or something, I want you guys to know facts and the truth of what I'm going through and experiencing.
Did you have this conversation with the rest of the group?
Yeah, they know.
So when you guys heard this,
we was in tears. Like,
oh,
yeah,
wow,
in tears.
I really lost myself for years, and I don't cry about this no more because I'm stronger. But it's like I was going crazy, bro. Trying to figure out what is going on, and the things that I was feeling are coming to light now, and I'd be like, whoa, that had to be God, intervening and removing me from that situation, because it could have got really, really bad.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry to go through that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Not good, man.
I'll give you guys a minute.
Like something has
Look
happened
at Justin
to them.
Bieber right now.
I've been the shit.
Who looks like he's on drugs, spiraling. This is not the first time of an outcry that we've seen this, because there isn't one, there's not even enough spaces for men, especially Black men, to be vulnerable, to present their trauma without being judged. And that makes people like Diddy, allegedly, and other men like him even more predatory, because you know that there is not a safe space for these people to come out and be accepted and to have repercussions happen to you. So you're even more of a sick bitch because you're putting these people in this situation. And good on Terrence, because I think when Diddy goes to sleep at night, I think he thinks about that. I think men and people who are like that get off on that power and all that, they always think about the people who told them no. They always think about the people who denied them because they think they're untouchable. You know, like that shit, like I think it keeps him up at night that he couldn't do that shit to Terrence. And Terrence said it ain't a fucking
sitting there
role big
staring
enough.
at him and shit.
What you looking at?
Yeah, are we here to work? All right, are we here to do business or some other shit?
We'll take a 5-minute recess without objection. Well, then y'all better focus, because I want order. Y'all want to talk business or some other shit?
Because when the assistant clock, and this is how you know when y'all go and y'all watch it. I know we put the little clip in. When y'all go and y'all watch the full thing, Terrence, when he's speaking to the assistant, he's not even assuming that's what he's on. So it's like, again, Terrence doesn't feel like he's coming from this homophobic place, even if Diddy was just a gay man. He didn't come at it with, why the fuck he looking at me? What the fuck this gay man? He was just like, what's going on? And when the assistant said, when the assistant said, oh, I think he's trying to fuck you, Terrence said, oh, that's what.
Okay.
We don't need that's cute. You could just keep that shit. You can keep that shit over there. Okay. So it was like false pretenses. Like it wasn't.
It was not anti-queer at all.
It wasn't like
a lack of communication that was done intentionally on Diddy's half. But
yes,
I'm glad that Terrence stood firmly in what he said. I think that he is always for the evolution of consciousness, and he just always like right to me. I stand Terrence, so they can never make me hate him, honestly.
Terrence said more boys, more men. And specifically, because what did Kaya say?
Okay, if everybody want to be a girl, who gonna be the boys?
Who gonna be the boys? Let me know. If everybody's Spice Girling, then who's gonna NSYNC? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, do y'all want it y'all way or not, Backstreet Boys? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, if we are out here being fly girls, then who is going to be?
The girls want to be Destiny's Child. If everybody want to be Beyonce, who's going to be the boys to men? Who's going to go be our man?
I'm trying to figure out, like, if everybody wants to be Gina and Pam, who is going to be
Martin? Who's going to be Tommy? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I just want to know, because it is getting a little crowded in here. It's getting a little crowded over here in this section. When I look to my left and I look to my right, all you girls want to be relaxed backs. Soul sisters, the sisterhood of the traveling pants.
Kaya is the broken clock that just so happens to be right twice a day. The bitch, when she's right, she's right. When the bitch is right, the bitch is right.
I'm Azalea. So now what?
So what now?
What now? I mean,
and because what now? Yeah, y'all, everybody. I'm not gonna go into that. There's a level of sensitivity that is good here. We should have sensitivity, but the heightened sensitivity to erase a space that's non-hateful, y'all gotta back that shit on up. Y'all gotta allow people to be who they are, especially when they're not coming from a place of hate. If he was coming from a place of hate or prejudice or anything like that, I would be like, pack that shit on up. Pack that shit on up. But at the same time, when you out at a club and somebody might grab your ass and do something, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the boys. That's what I'm looking for. That punch one of y'all in the face. Like when the men be on there be tripping, I be looking for y'all to come punch somebody in the face, or come alleviate, come big dog, throw y'all shoulders up to somebody So we have to have that space. So beat the boys, because everybody can't beat the girls. We're running out of room.
It's a lot of tension between the genders right now.
Ooh,
and I
child,
feel
tell me about it.
like this administration, once again, is not helping. And then Hulu just dropped another bomb on us with the Handmaid's Tale returning. And it's just crazy timing, honestly. It's disturbing, actually.
It's so disturbing because I watched Handmaid's Tale about 4 seasons in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching it season 4, and then when season 5 came out, that was the first season I watched as it came out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had never watched this joint because putting Elizabeth Moss up there in that damn 1800 red dress with that shit on, I'm not one of the reenactment girlies.
I'm not a history buff either.
Yeah, so I skipped that shit so many times, not even knowing how
Me
good
too,
it was.
friend. You put me on. You already know. I was locked in when I locked in.
It was giving present day. When I clicked that home and it was giving present day.
Yeah, I thought it was a blast from the past. The girl said, no, this is actually tomorrow. No, we're talking about
this is actually
bitch.
next week. If you check your calendar, if you check your calendar invites, you'll actually see like
you've already received their invitation to Gilead and everything, girl.
They tagged the girls like cows. I don't even remember that. They tagged them on their ears like cows, like cattle who could produce. Like we've seen in the last couple of years about males and a certain select old few geriatric males be in charge of the anatomy of women's bodies. We have seen groups of people who have allowed their religion and their belief try to impress upon people. And what it really boils down to is we get closer and closer to Gilead, baby. Every day we get closer and closer, because if y'all don't watch Handmaid's Tale, get into her. They are essentially taking the women who can produce children, and they are using them as slaves. I can't call it nothing else.
But getting us kicked up off of here.
Slaves for sexual favors to try to reproduce, but they're going about it in a weird way. And like much things that have happened in this country, they are hiding behind this is God's plan, this is God's work. Right. And we have seen that story a million times of people doing things to people because this is what they think God called for and what God wants to see from us, or we are fixing this as a repercussion to being punished by God. So it's some scurry shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's dark. It gets very dark and toxic. And yeah, definitely giving y'all a trigger warning if y'all are like against any like sexual abuse or just a lot of different, it gets a little graphic sometimes, but it's definitely worth a watch. Yeah, the storyline is crazy. I think it just definitely touches on that toxic masculinity we talked about. And it just like shows where's the difference or where's the line at between being a protector and being a controller or an abuser.
I think so. We about 2 streets from Terrence to Gilead, like we in the neighborhood, okay?
Like a left and another left.
Yeah, 2 lefts and we in Gilead. Like you asking where the line is, it's 2 lefts. The difference I believe in this protection and where we could be going in this divine masculine to toxic masculinity, to me feels like we're going from choices, consenting choices to non-consenting choices. So from protection to control, to me gives, I've entrusted you with something, you're doing it on your own, right? If I tell a man, if I give, let's say Terrence Howard, because I always thought he was fine. So if I'm with Terrence, right, and I may not have to tell Terrence, every time something occurs. I need you to handle this. I need you, there can be a consent and a request in a I feel more comfortable with men who will protect me, who will speak up for me, who in certain situations will be more vocal, blah, blah, blah. Terrence knows this. So now as our dynamic is unfolding, Terrence is moving with who he would be as a man anyways in protection, but also in knowing that that is what I need. That's what I need from him. And he has my consent. Now we move over to Gilead and into control as to where I didn't ask Terrence. Terrence isn't for me. Or I have expressed to Terrence, I would like to handle things on my own. I do not need for someone to speak for me. And instead of there ever being a conversation or anything like that, it's just you are choosing what is best for me at all times without the opinion of what I think about it. And that's control, because then you're just doing what you want to do. You're just out here picking for me, deciding for me, carrying on for me, and what you think is best. And I feel that's where it gets blurry. And I fear to say as well, the boy's gonna hate me for this. You guys too much don't even feel that way sometimes unless it's like the woman that you're with when it comes into controlling. Like you don't even really like stand up for women, and then if you're not with that said woman, you'll never stand up for her again in your life. But it's something about you feeling like this person is in your possession right now to protect. You have this controlling factor. You feel like I need to do everything, and I think that's where we are right now in that very muddy like thing, like property, like this is mine and I should protect it, but then also I should dictate and I should control and I should manipulate and I should be in charge. And it's like, let people think for they fucking self. Let people, but we're not there. When we start treating people, when we start treating women and children, the LGBT community, as if they're second rate citizens, as if they don't have the mental capacity or mental fortitude in order to make decisions for themselves. When you start thinking what's best, because you're not coming from a place of trying to do it, but you think what's best. Yeah, now I feel like blessed be. Now I feel like praise be. Blessed be the fruit. Like I feel like you want to tag
may
me.
the doors open. Okay, may the Lord open.
I feel like Marvin Sapp. You
There's
seen that? Close the
1,000 of you.
doors.
I said
Close the
close them
doors.
Close the
doors.
doors.
Close
Okay,
the
hold on.
doors.
Let me get
Usher,
up out of here.
close the
Yeah,
door.
right. Close the doors.
Close the
Yeah,
door.
it's giving close the
Close
doors.
the doors.
Yeah,
Don't close the
absolutely.
door on me.
Don't
Do
close the
not
door.
close the door on
The
me.
doors of the church are open, honey.
There's a sweet spot that protection and compassion that blend so well, and I fear that men are missing the compassion with the protection. And I feel like the protection needs to come from the place of compassion, because you want to protect things. The just protecting without compassion feels like property. It feels like I'm protecting it because I feel like it's mine. It feels like a little kid when they have a toy and it's like, it's mine. I'm not gonna let anything happen to it because it's mine.
Right.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to it because I care for it. It's
Yes.
fragile. It
Yes.
cannot protect itself. It doesn't need to be this, well, you're mine. So I choose how to protect you and I choose what's best for you. That's when I feel like y'all about to start tagging our ears, baby.
Okay, I love that you broke that down at the end. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was.
Ooh, yeah, y'all, just keep y'all helmets on. Get ready for a crazy. I don't know. I'm not gonna even get into the tariffs and everything. Y'all, we just in this together. We here. We're back. Hope to see y'all next week. Please get on our Patreon, y'all, where we get even messier behind the paywall. We're on all platforms. Go subscribe. Show us some love. Leave a comment. Shop our merch. Merch. We got new merch in our shop. Go check it out before it's sold out. Okay. Any other messages for the people before we close out?
What I want to tell you hoes today. I love y'all. House. Yeah, y'all hoes. Yeah, my hoes though. Y'all see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
not you being possessive.
You get what I'm saying? You see how that just took a turn?
You
See,
switched
that
it up
was a
on the
pop
girls.
quiz at the end.
Making
See
sure the
how I didn't
girls
give
are paying
y'all no
attention.
choice. Yeah, I didn't give y'all no choice into being a hoe. I just called y'all my hoes. You know what I'm saying? You see how that I tried to soften the blow with putting my on it? You see how that didn't feel good either way? Yeah, take notes. Take notes. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are special. Y'all are one of one. It's summertime, baby. And let me tell you something. They saying us. They said we so unbothered. We learning the line dances. We going on
Okay, where them
concert.
fans at? Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Where them fans at?
We learning line dances. Beyonce is gearing up on tour. Go get your cowboy Carter on. Go outside and get your vitamin D. Have fun this summer, okay? Because let me tell you, life might be hell in a handbasket, but that bitch gonna burn either way. So have fun while you can. Learn to lighten up a little bit. Learn to find joy in places that you can. Do not let these people run us fucking ragged and have you inside stressed, depressed with social anxiety. Get out into your community, strengthen yourself in your community, strengthen your bonds in your community so that you do not feel so alone, that you have a great support group, okay? And if you don't have anybody just yet, you have us. We are here. Don't worry. You at least got a party or two coming in. If we invite Teddington and the Teddies, that's about 6.
Even more.
Yeah, you know
Even
what I'm
more
saying?
fun.
Sometimes I be sliding with y'all daddy, so that's like 8. Just depending on what's happening. But just know we love y'all. I love
It's
y'all
all
daddies more.
love from the
But
Disrespect Podcast. Bye, girl. I'm done with you. We'll see y'all next week for some more disrespect.
bye to y'all daddies. Kisses to y'all daddies.
Learn something from this.